Hey, the reason that I'm out here, I wanted to just say a few things about nutraMetrix, and I wanted everybody to understand we're in our 15th year of nutraMetrix in servicing health professionals throughout the United States. And I'm not sure if everybody here understands what nutraMetrix brings to your businesses. And a great organization is one that is highly diversified in many of our university majors. Every organization that's going to build residual income should have at least one health professional on the left and one health professional on the right, for credibility at the least. And you know what? When you do that, your confidence grows to another level. And so many people don't understand you don't have to have that skill level to work with a doctor, because we're going to train you how to do that. And we're going to talk to you about to do that today. And I'm really proud to turn this over to two wonderful, qualified individuals that has done a great job with nutraMetrix. And when I think of these two people, you're in good hands because they have great things to say. So consider very carefully about how nutraMetrix and our health professional program can fit into your organization. Ladies,
Thank
to
you,
you.
Dennis.
Thank
you. You know, Dennis mentioned it's been 15 years, and we've learned so much over the last 15 years about how to work with health professionals to get our best quality products, right? We've already heard all weekend long. Mark talked about it this morning. We have the best products in the world, especially in the health and nutrition department. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
So it only makes sense that we get those products into the hands of people who service patients, and that's health professionals. So we work with health professionals using our health and nutrition and our amazing skincare products, as well as all of our other products, and we have a system to train people like you, unfranchise owners, on how to work with the health professionals you know. Because all of you have a built-in network of health professionals. You might just not have thought of it before, right? But all of you that are wearing glasses, you all see an eye doctor. Right? All of you that go and get your teeth cleaned, you all have a dentist. Everybody has a doctor that they go and see when they get sick. Wouldn't you agree? How many of you have a doctor? Just raise your hand, clap, shout out if you have a doctor that you go to. So what we do is we teach you in nutraMetrix how to work with health professionals to implement our programs. Now, over the last 15 years, we have streamlined the NC training, and people tell us over and over again, now we might be a little bit biased, we think it's an incredible training. And people tell us that every time they come, it just gets better and better and better. Wouldn't you agree, NCs and HPs in the room, right?
Yeah.
But we have a surprise for you, because you haven't seen anything yet when it comes to the nutraMetrix training. In fact, we are about to launch an entirely new NC training curriculum, and we're making it more accessible to everybody. We're making it easier. We're making it simpler. We're condensing it from 3 days down to 2 days. And we're kicking this off by launching it at our very first event of this year, which is the last weekend in March, March 29th to the 31st in Herndon, Virginia, right outside of Washington, D.C. And what you'll see is we've taken the NC training that used to be 3 days and $395. We've condensed it down to 2. We used to have an entirely separate weekend, which was our nutraMetrix annual convention. We've added that on, so within 1 weekend, you get the NC training, you get the health professional product and implementation training if you're a health professional, and you get the annual convention.
You know, Brandi and I, we work full-time. We are building our business part-time, just like you. We also are moms of 2 very small kids, and we like to not just major in nutraMetrix, but double and triple major, right, in web centers, because doctors need websites, and some of our other divisions as well.
Financial services.
So it gets a little busy, don't you think, sometimes, to try to get away from the house for 3 full days. We're really excited, you know, even for us to make it to now be a 2-day training. It's going to be better for everyone.
Right, so we have the NC training will be kicking off in this March training, and I want to just let you know the cost of the 2 events combined into one, whether it be the nutraMetrix training or the HP training and the annual convention, is now only $250 for 3 events in 1 weekend, saving time and saving money. So let's talk about the agenda. On Friday is going to be the NC training's first day. But we've changed the curriculum completely. So it's not just appropriate for nutraMetrix consultants, it's also appropriate for health professionals. So any of the health professionals who buy a ticket for the Saturday HP product and implementation training can come to Friday at no additional cost and see the big picture of what nutraMetrix implementation looks like. So both the HPs and the NCs are together on Friday. Then they split apart on Saturday, and NCs learn about how to approach health professionals, how to create an implementation plan, how to create a retail initiative, right? While the HPs are learning about clinical nutrition and how to have the dialogue with their patients. And then we bring everybody back together on Sunday, where we have our nutraMetrix annual convention, and you learn from some of our top health professionals and health professionals from the top of their industry about implementation. It's going to be a super powerful event.
Dennis is right about the credibility, too, of our speakers and trainers to be able to, take a picture with them, grab a soundbite from them, and share that with your network of friends back home. Just gives you so much credibility for our amazing products.
Yes, and you're going to see in a few minutes we're launching something completely brand new on this stage today that will be the foundation of the new curriculum. And I wanted to point that out to you because some of you may have attended a training in recent years, right? And this is going to be completely different than what you've seen in the past. So all NCs that are current nutraMetrix consultants should plan on getting to the new event to see the new training curriculum so you know how to invite your new people to it as well.
This is really great. And we're also just doing more trainings in general. Because people ask us, I was at the booth, if I had $1 for every person that said, when are you coming to, your town? I want to let you know that's what we're trying to do. Our goal in 2019, with our brand new set of 14 nutraMetrix trainers, our goal in 2019 is to have 100 nutraMetrix trainings scheduled all around the country. And we've already begun to do so. We've gotten really great feedback. And what we're doing in a really simple way, and I'll show you the financials of what this can mean, not only to practices in your area, but also to your organization, to your bottom line with BV coming in, with something just as simple as a health professional introducing a new patient, 3 new patients a week to a new product. That's it. That's what our two sessions of nutraMetrix 101 and our nutraMetrix 201 tell you why a practitioner would want to do that and all of the steps on how they do that. We make it so simple because we wanted to make this easier for you. And these trainings also, if you go in your area or you work with your local coordinator to bring in one of our nutraMetrix trainers to come to your area, these trainings will also give you temporary status, NC status, nutraMetrix consultant status with us. So it's easier than ever.
Yeah.
And we are just making this more accessible for you to insert this into your organizations.
Now, one of the things that you learn about, whether you attend the nutraMetrix 101 or 201 in the GMTSS in your local area, or whether you come to the full training that we have in March, and we have 2 other trainings scheduled later in the year, when you come to a nutraMetrix training, you're going to learn about one of our most cutting-edge tools that's only available through nutraMetrix, and that is our GeneSnip program. And the GeneSnip DNA analysis literally is one of the most cutting-edge tools available in the market, because what it allows health professionals to do is precision laser target the nutritional needs of the patient based on their genetic information, based on their gene profile. So we have a DNA analysis that is very simple for a health professional to integrate into their practice, and it can provide a tool for them to know exactly what that patient needs. Now, we've had that program for several years, and Sarah, you've been working very closely with Dr. Deidre Mason, who's put so much time and effort and energy into the GeneSnip program. Everybody please give her a round of applause because it's such an incredible tool. But Sarah and Dr. Mason have been working to make the tools even easier for health professionals. Tell them a little about that.
We want to make this so it is so simple for practitioners to be able to market it to their patients, for them to then explain how their staff can all get involved so it doesn't take as much of their clinical time. And then from there, how to give meaningful, guides to the patient so they can go out and take an actionable step with our nutraMetrix products. And so what we've done is we've come out with infographics. We've come out with downloads. We have reports available, lab reports, reports of findings that they can work with the practitioner. But the thing is Brandi, again, it takes a lot of training from the NC to first understand it. I spent hours on the phone with Dr. Mason trying to understand the information in a way that I could then go into my own practices. And I said, you know what, let's just make this easier. And so Dr. Mason and I together, we've created little videos. They're very short. They're on our new official NC training channel, which you should subscribe to on YouTube, where Dr. Mason and myself, in little 3 to 5 minute chunks, will take you through each of the tools. So whether you want to learn it to explain it to a health professional in 3 minutes in the hallway, or you want to send it to them so they can look at it on their phone, you know, at their leisure, it's a just push play, right? How many guys have heard that with Mark in America? Just push play. And so, you know, I encourage you to come to our nutraMetrix, our NC training page on YouTube to be able to find these videos. They're all labeled under GeneSnip, very simple. And that way, you as an NC, you as a UFO, and any health professionals that are either in this arena with us this weekend or that you're sharing these tools with, understand very easily how this can integrate. Because, I mean, so many patients are asking for this already. And Brandi, we talk about a lot, you know, there's the state of New York where GeneSnip is not available, right? Or I have friends, I don't know if you guys do, who took advantage of a Christmas 23andMe special, or they did Ancestry.com. Does anyone know anyone who did that?
Does anyone know anybody that has done one of those consumer tests? Right.
So what do we do for them, Brandi?
Right, and you know, it's a great question. My friend Jimmy Bailey and I were just in a practice in Charleston this past weekend, or 2 weeks ago actually, and we were visiting this CEO of a large primary care practice, and we were talking to him about GeneSnip, and he said, you know, it's so interesting that you talk about this because we don't currently offer genetic testing in our practice, but every single day we have doctors that have patients that come to them with a consumer genetic test and say, here's the information I got from my report, doctor. What do I do with this? And they currently don't have a solution, right? And so one of the things we were talking about is how can we leverage that? How can we leverage that people are already looking for genetic solutions, whether they found our test or not? And how can we help our health professionals have an answer for whether they've used our test or any other test? And we came up with this really great program. This is actually another innovation of Dr. Mason, is she's trying to make it easier for our health professionals that incorporate our GeneSnip test to know what to recommend to their patients that have had the test based on their results. And she started seeing that there were very specific patterns. And certain people with certain genetic variations all kind of looked the same, not looked physically, but had the same patient personality, so to speak. Maybe they came in with the same complaints, low energy, dry hair. You know, not necessarily, we're not even talking about diseases, we're just talking about how people feel in general. Do they think clearly or do they have brain fog, right? And so she was able to identify these patterns and say, well, if the patients come in with certain characteristics, we know, based on the gene environment, that we can support those genes nutritionally. And so we came up with something that we're so excited about launching, and that is the brand new GeneSnip DNA bundles, right? And so you'll see here a screen capture of a postcard, because we want you to know what tools you have available to you. You could go up to the nutraMetrix booth, pick up a copy of this postcard. It's two-sided. On the front, it talks about our two GeneSnip Foundation bundles. These would be like what you recommend to the people that are interested in biohacking, the people that have an above average commitment to their health.
Yes.
People that want to take the best steps possible to make sure that their gene environment is optimized so that they can be the best version of themselves, that they can have the best chances of health possible, right? And then on top of that, we created 8 additional bundles that are really designed to help patients identify, you know what, as I read through this material, that sounds just like me. So they can identify what they relate to most, okay? And then we put the bundles together. You have this in your program. You can look at the program page. We put together all of these bundles that are at these incredible price points and an incredible amount of BV. We looked across the board at what our health professionals are selling to their patients through their online portal. And the average sale for a health professional to a patient is about $200. And these bundles fall right into that. So we're not asking them to spend more money than they already are. What we're doing is streamlining the recommendation so the doctors don't have to spend so much thinking about what to recommend, or the health professionals don't have to spend so much time thinking about what to recommend. Then we're putting together, and you're going to come to the breakout tonight where we're going to talk in much more detail about the bundles. But we're putting together some tools to help paint the picture, tell the story, right? Because even if you don't know a lot about genes, and you don't need to with these bundles, I want you to just think about this. Do you know anybody? Let me just paint a picture for you. Do you know anybody that's forgetful? They forget their keys often. They go looking for their glasses and they're on their head. They're looking for their cell phone and they're using their cell phone flashlight to find it, but they can't find it. Do you know anybody that they're in the middle of a meeting and you can tell they want to say something, but they can't just find the words to do it? And at the same time, they might have complaints about dry skin, dry hair. They might complain about some digestive concerns, right? And they might think that all of these things, the brain fog, the confusion, the low energy, the skin challenges, the immunity challenges, all of these health, they might think they're all individual, separate instances, but they're not. They're all related to the same gene groupings. And if we can provide the nutrients to support that gene environment, all of a sudden, a lot of those complaints that they had see improvements, right? So we want you to come to the breakout tonight where we'll talk in more detail about the bundles. And when you come to the March training, that's when we're really going to teach you how to identify which patient is the best fit for which bundle.
It's amazing. I mean, it's just prioritizing ingredients, which we started to do when we put together all of our isotonics essentials. You know, our daily essentials was just helping you prioritize. If there were only a few products, let's put them in one little sachet pack and make it quite convenient. And everyone loved it. But that's almost the same way when we talk about the shopping annuity, when people were just on an auto ship, right? And it just was the minimal mindset. I mean, this wasn't a bad minimal mindset, right? I'd take one on the left and one on the right.
Absolutely.
A practitioner, if they sold 100 boxes of daily essentials every single month, which we teach them how to do that over the course of a year, which is 3 new patients a week. We teach that in the 101 and the 201 training and at the full 2-day training. So this is not unreasonable. And that could bring in 4,000 BV a month. Right? How many people would like that? That's great.
From one account. How many of you would like that?
This brings into the practice $33,000 a year when you combine retail profit with commissions. But let's look at what the bundles did, Brandi. I mean, the bundles tripled those numbers.
Right.
It was quite remarkable. With that same 100 patients, the practice is now generating almost 13,000 BV.
A month.
A month. That practice is now bringing in annually over $100,000 a year. Now, this is just from a same switch, just switching, you know, from that minimal mindset to now going more with our average orders,
right,
but just prioritizing products for the patients and for the practitioners. So it's no additional work for any of you. It's just a different mentality, a different mindset that we're bringing to our trainings. A lot of BV for you guys.
And the products are already grouped together, so they don't need to think about it. I mean, how many of you have ever gone to a product training and you're like, I want that, and I want that, and I want that, and I want that, and you don't know how to prioritize it. This way, the prioritization is done, right? So we want to share with you as well, just congratulations to our challenge winners. We recognized them at the challenge reception last night. But we've been working with people that have been using this concept of creating packages and bundling them together, and it's worked so well for them. So this is a tried and true system. It's just the first time that we've put it together in a code to make it even easier for ordering, okay? So you want to make sure that you stop by the Nutri-Metrics booth, pick up one of the postcards, take a look at your program. Join us at the breakout session tonight where Dr. Mason herself is going to talk about the bundles and go into detail about how to match certain bundles to certain patients. And then you want to talk about what's going to be going on at the booth.
We also have programming going on over lunchtime. So we're going to do it about maybe 20 to about 30 minutes before we come back in for the general session for lunch on both Friday and Saturday. So when Howard says, you know, come back in your seats at, let's say it's 2 o'clock, meet us at the booth then at 1:30 if that's the time. And tomorrow we want you to meet some of the movers and the shakers.
Right.
We want to teach you a little bit more where we can start the education this weekend with you about genetic bundles so you can create a runway for some of our events and start telling people. We want to introduce you to some of our top gene SNP providers like Tina Rose, nurse practitioner, Julie Lanzito from Bismarck, a nurse practitioner, who are using, you know, the concept already of genetic bundles in their practices to really have a lot of success. You know, we have a ton of success that's happening. We just heard today from Nancy Miller-Ely and Catherine Longo and Tamara Weinstein and Susan Markowitz. We have so many great success stories. And we just know that if you think about nutraMetrics in 2019, you know, very simple steps for you to be our next success story.
Yes, and that all starts with you coming to the breakout tonight. Training starts tonight. And then joining us in Herndon, Virginia in March. We'll see you there. Have a great day. Thank you so much.